Hello everybody and welcome back to our latest severe weather coverage for Europe. We do have some potential supercells which are going to be moving onshore. This is live stream number 2 of today. The last update was about 2 hours ago and it was the forecast for these supercells. Over the next couple hours we will see some supercells start to develop and then impact the Bordeaux region and West France. But let's start with what's going on out there right now. We've got some massive convective showers down in southern France. We do have some of these producing lightning, potential little bit of hail in these as well. Probably not a tornado risk with these. We do also have some patchier sort of cells that are starting to develop on the west coast. None of these are probably going to be tornado producing at the moment. These are going to be a little bit later on in the evening. And then just in northern France we do have a load of heavy rain and potential hail and a couple flashes of lightning. If I go to the latest ASTORP automated convective outlook, if I pull this through to now, we will start to see some supercells develop with that slight and enhanced risk. As we move this through, this threat will move east and into West France and into very northern Spain. And then as we go through the night, this threat will push its way eastwards and then begin to quiet down. If we're talking about tornado risks, if we pull this through to about now, we will start to see a 5% tornado risk develop over the next couple hours. The wind outlook is also looking about 15%, and also hail is looking very likely. If I go to AstroFacts, we can look at the AstroFacts outlook, and it is a 2 out of 3. They say level 2 was issued for parts of west and southwest France, mainly for severe damaging wind gusts and a tornado risk, with a strong event not ruled out. If I go down here, it says it's somewhere. The other concern is a tornado risk with a damaging long-tracked event not being ruled out. So that means a strong and potentially dangerous tornado may start to or develop or may come out of some of these supercells in the next couple hours. And let's have a look at what's going to be going on out there. We do have this these cells that are going to be moving in. So that isn't the right one. So behind this sort of area of heavier rain that is out there at the moment, we will see these cells that will begin to move their way eastwards. This may pose some damaging wind, damaging hail, and also a tornado as they move eastwards. And then all of this should begin to quieten down tomorrow. So this is at 9 o'clock, so we should start to see some cells possibly around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, so in the next sort of hour. If I go to the Cape, we do have some Cape for, as you can see there, west of France at the moment, and then this will move its way eastwards, and then add to our tornado risk for western France when supercells do start to fire. If you look at the convected overview, we can see right around 9 o'clock we do have these cells and a little bit of Cape. Remember this through, we do see that little bit of Cape. These cells are going to develop and then move on land. So these cells are going to begin to fire. We have seen some already. If I move this back, just some little cells that have begun to start to develop. None of these will be able to bring tornadoes, maybe some gusty wind and some hail, but once again our main threats can be later on in the evening. If I go to this one, we can also see, if we go down in Bordeaux, can see some cells out there at the moment over near Pornic. This is quite a significant cell as it's moving to the east. This is something that we definitely have to monitor. Let me see, can I get velocity for that region? I don't think we can. We should be able to. I don't know. I don't think we're going to be able to get velocities on these. There should just be a button somewhere that you can press. While I'm figuring that out, we can look at the Kuranos outlook. If I go back to forecast, that's one thing. We do see that our orange risk, marked risk of thunderstorms can be strong. If we look at the probability of a tornado, we can see there's a 15 to 30% chance in this region in southwest France, including places like Bordeaux. And the probability of intense lightning activity is about 5 to 15%. Let me have a look. Oops. I don't know why it's only showing Doppler radar. Oh. I've got it, guys. Let me have a look. This should be our sort of like main area as we go later on, but as I was saying, we do have that cell out to the west. Oops. We try and find the radar that this one is on. It should be right around there. Do we not have one? Oops. I don't think we have a radar over there. Just double check. No. If we go to reflectivity in Bordeaux, that is going to be the main cell. I need to find a better website. This one out to the west. If I look at windy, might show it a bit better. This one right here. It's been getting stronger. We could see large hail in there. Maybe a bit of a hook starting to develop. We would know a bit more if Doppler was here, but how do I generally don't know how to get Doppler on. Once again, this is the most concerning cell. We're going to see multiple of these throughout the evening that are going to be including large hail. This looks like possibly large hail, maybe even a bit of a hook forming as it moves east into Saint Helier d'Yves. Does this have radar? Might have radar. Radar Doppler. Oh, this looks okay. Okay, this is a good website. Okay, we can't currently see. Is that the one that we're tracking? Yeah, that's the storm behind. So, what tab was that on? Move that next to that. So that is going to be where the potential water spout. This was at 8:50, so 10 minutes ago. It's probably updates every 10 minutes. There are some thunderstorm warnings. This one has moderate thunderstorms. If we go to radar, could see some moderate thunderstorms over there. This is the most concerning cell at the moment. Let me see, can I take it back? Animate? I don't know. Also, I do need to get the thumbnail uploaded. I actually just forgot about that. Oh, it looks like it's updating every 5 minutes. Let me get the thumbnail on. Okie dokie, we should have it on now. Okay, I shouldn't need to do anything else with that now. So we do also have this cell behind it that's going to be firing. It's going to try to develop. Can we play it back? There's also some cameras. Is there? Local speed cameras? Don't know. Can't actually get this full screen. Bit messy over in the south right now. These are the. This is probably the most concerning cell at the moment for an imminent tornado risk. It's all just a bit messy up here. How do I go off this? Perfect. Could be something that's going to try and develop in this. We have had some severe wind gusts, and we will have these supercells that are going to start to be firing up. But we also have a significant windstorm with this, as we can see right now. 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts. This will rush its way into Bordeaux, bringing 70. It was looking like 80-mile-an-hour a bit earlier on, just slightly downtrended by about 10 miles an hour, but still significant impacts for wind gusts in Bordeaux. Also, wave height, we could see some damaging waves going to this region as well. It's maybe trying to get a bit of a hook starting to go on it. Oops, that's open. Do not want that open at the moment. But if we just take this back, we can see these two cells have begun to starting to grow in intensity a little bit over the last sort of hour. But yeah, once again, if we look at Astrophax Outlook, this is the main region once again. This is actually not the region that we're looking at the moment. This is the sort of main region. Storms will begin to fire a little bit later. It does say the timing of this somewhere. The main risk starts at 7 to 9, so it's just gone 7 o'clock, so a little bit of time, maybe an hour's time frame, and lasts until 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning. So this could lead to some tornadoes in the night. There is a actual phrase for a tornado that happens at night. I'm trying to think what it's called. Oh, I forgot. So this right here is these are the pre-warnings that they give out. This is a pre-warning, and it's looking this is low at the moment. Hopefully velocity comes in soon. We've not had arrows. Maybe something in this system maybe trying to hook, or potentially. That could be something in there, little couplet, and then sort of that hook. But yeah, this risk is really going to start to ramp up over the next hour or a little bit. We have sort of gone live a bit early. Also, yeah, we have sort of gone live a bit earlier, which I suppose is a good thing. If anyone's just joining us, we'll look at the forecast. So right now we do have some cells beginning to fire, as well as a big sort of mess of moderate to heavy rain. And as we go through into 9 o'clock, we will see these cells making landfall with a couple tornadoes. And in the Astrophax outline, it said potentially a long track tornado. We will see some damaging wind and also some hail out of these. There is one with hail on here. Oh, this one here. Let me turn these off for a moment. Just might make the radar a little bit easier to look at. Just checking that southern Um, but now this is still probably the most concerning thing. Maybe a little couplet in there. You can sort of see, or you could see the hook. I'm not seeing something definitely confirmed at the moment though. But yeah, once again, if we go to the automated SBC risk for for Europe, this does update in 6 minutes. It says last update was 5 hours and 54 minutes ago, and it says every 6 hours. Maybe if I just refresh it. Yeah, okay, so this came in 13 minutes ago. It's fresh data. We do have that slight risk to the west as we move through the day. This will, or the evening, sorry, the slight risk, which is going to be driven by probably the wind risk, but we also are going to see a 5% tornado outlook there, also 5% hail, 70% thunderstorm outlook, and a little 30% in there, but mostly just that 15% wind outlook. This is definitely looking like the most interesting storm at the moment that I see. This is just that's just a flooding risk. This is very precipitable. Very heavy rain's going to be falling down here. Probably the heaviest right now over Lagpie or La Fulldale. We could probably see some flooding out of this. And also, if we go to the warnings, Windy does have warnings, but I do like Meteor Alarm. I think it is a little bit better. No. Okay. Also, the Cape load, perfect. It's going to be increasing as we go through the evening. Quite a lot of it being available. So once again, a long track tornado being possible. And I did just want to mention for any of my viewers over in Britain, there's quite a interesting snow event that might be taking place. Just as there's not nothing going on, it's just that there's minimal at the moment. Let me go to the element winter overview, and it's late Saturday. Not Kate, winter overview. Sorry, it's a bit does take a little bit to load it. Or wait, let's go back to the radar. Is this loaded? Let's give it a sec. Now this event for Britain is actually uptrended over the past 24 hours. It's been quite interesting to monitor. If you go later into Saturday, sorry about that flashing light. Just heavy to moderate snow for the entirety of the UK here. Looking very interesting going into the early hours. A Sunday might be bit of a winter wonderland. Now this might not happen. Yesterday it wasn't really showing this. It was showing some snow, but not to this severity. It does look actually quite interesting. If you look at snow depth, widespread 6, 10, and for higher elevations 20 centimeters being possible. So that is quite an interesting event that's going to be taking place on Saturday. Obviously that is not guaranteed. We will be posting some forecasts. If this severe weather event wasn't happening, I would be making a forecast, but as this event is happening, I think it's more important to do this. Sorry guys, I just accidentally turned on the echo mode on my microphone. I did not mean to do that. Let's go back over to windy for a second. We've seen some very precipitable storms. Doppler on these cells aren't really the best. There could be a potential tornado out of these. It wouldn't surprise me. It's just it's all a bit patchy. But yeah, I wouldn't really be surprised if we do see some sort of tornado from one of these hooks right here. Now from this sort of big splodge of heavy rain, I probably won't be expecting a tornado. Maybe some flooding out of this though, as this is looking very precipitable. Maybe some flash flooding, maybe even a bit of hail in the blue region that you see there. It's a good website, Meteorologics. It's just a bit annoying for zooming. It's a bit faffy. But yeah, I generally wouldn't be surprised if one of these. I mean, there's hooks on this. There might be a tornado now, actually. That hook right there. Maybe with a bit of rotation there. It's very hard to say, but that might be a tornado. We do have the ESWD for this event. Most of the reports will be coming in tomorrow though. If we do have any tornadoes, I will mention in tomorrow's weather forecast. If we do have any tornadoes or anything significant, I will mention that on tomorrow's weather forecast. We do have this heavy rain warning, also large hail. Actually last night, sorry, we do have some widespread high winds there for France. If anyone's not seen the Estofacts outlook, looks at something like this. That level 1 risk from Portugal into eastern and the middle of France, and then that level 2 where it does say a potential long tracked tornado is possible. Let's see whether I can see this. The other concern is a tornado risk with a damaging long tracked event not being ruled out. This is quite a significant event for February. I'm pretty sure, not yesterday's event, but this is one of the first outlooks that the Estofacts have made this year, so definitely interesting. If we look at the lightning at the moment, we do have some from this storm down in Portugal, and some over from these cells. I still think that maybe one of these may have produced a tornado for a brief time. This is looking slightly less organised. This is looking a little bit interesting. We get Doppler up. Maybe it's a bit hard to tell. Just give me a sec. I think my mouse is glitching. Anyway, sorry about this, guys. Okay, I don't know what the hell that was. I think we're okay. Okay, I don't know what just happened. I think my mouse has sort of did something weird then. And I don't know why the screen turned that was weird. But yeah, some potential couplets in this is a bit hard to tell as it is a bit well pixelated, but once again, if you look at this, we do see cells are beginning to fire. Over the last sort of hour. Let me play this through on fast mode for you. Just give me a sec. But yeah, so if you do look at the radar, also not the radar, the model, we do see right now we've got that messy sort of moderate rain, and as we do go through this evening, we will see some cells begin to fire. These will then go on land with risk of damaging wind, large hail, and a potential strong tornado out of these. If you look at infra imagery, we can also see the how highly taught these cells are. This is once again looking like a bit of a concerning storm. We have seen this little blip at the back begin to get closer to this, so this might merge into this cell, and then maybe as it gets further inland it might begin to become maybe more tornadic as this merges. Once again, I did say earlier that I wouldn't have been surprised if there was a tornado just crossing the border from Spain to France. I don't think that that's gonna be really apply as much right now. That's not what I wanted. What's it called? Sorry guys. What is going on? I don't know why this isn't working. There it is. That's different to what I want. So there guys. This is once again the most concerning storm here, as this cell behind I believe is going to merge. It will merge, and then as it gets closer to the coast it may become tornadic again. And once again I'll show you guys the Esther effects outlook. It is a 2 out of 3 on the scale, I guess. And it says a level 2 was issued for parts of west southwest France, mainly for severe to damaging wind gusts and tornado risk with a strong event not ruled out. And it does say down here the main risk will start around about 7 to 9 and then go on till 3 to 4 in the morning. We do have a new mesoscale discussion. So it says this mesoscale discussion was issued to update the imminent severe risk. Latest modified IR cloud tops loop showing arrow of enhanced. Should turn stormy within the following hours as convection moves in. Rapid onset of damaging gusts behind eastward facing convection is forecast. A cluster of thunderstorms should move across the MD mesoscale discussion, at least a few more robust updrafts are still anticipated, e.g. by merging. Despite extreme background shear, no change to the mentioned tornado gust risk in the outlook before. So in this region we are going to be seeing what did they say? A cluster of thunderstorms, and then we could even see some isolated robust updrafts, some isolated storms, so they're not in that cluster as well, pretty much. Maybe something that begins to develop down here. We do have a yellow warning of thunderstorms, which is moderate. down on the border in very southwest France. We also do have this, which is a thunderstorm pre-warning. So is a warning or a pre-warning. Pretty much. We'll probably start to see some more strong, potentially violent thunderstorm pre-warnings over the next couple hours. Is right around 7:30 at the moment, so the risk is still yet to get fully underway in the next sort of 40 minutes to an hour. It's been on that they flash like that. We did actually have a tornado near Bordeaux about 2 weeks ago. Actually, it was quite a violent tornado, and it's kind of interesting that today's environment is a lot more favourable for tornadoes. So that just really shows the severity of this event. It's significantly larger than the one that tornado did form in. That doesn't mean that we're going to see loads of violent tornadoes, but we are probably going to see a couple of tornadoes and potential for a violent tornado over the next couple of hours. Do you have any? No. Do you have any photos from these storms? That was on the 3rd of February. Also see the lightning at the moment. This is the storm down here, which is just crossing the French border, that does seem to be producing the most lightning right now. We do have the cell that is moving east into this sort of region, which is the one which I think I said this may merge overland. It doesn't seem to be keeping up with us, so it might merge a bit later than I thought. Get that plan. Nothing that I can see right now spinning or rotating, sorry. This does look like a quite a interesting storm, maybe bringing some hail and also straight line winds. We have seen some hawks that have tried to if this updates properly. We have seen some hawks that have tried to develop from this, that have maybe tried to drop a tornado. Oops. These cells up here looking pretty interesting. a lot of interesting cells around this region. And if you guys haven't seen already, we do have a mesoscale discussion. Latest modified are, I don't really need to read all that. Damaging gust beneath eastward convection is forecast. A cluster of thunderstorms should across the mesoscale discussion and at least a few more robust updrafts, so supercells which are not part of the cluster, so they can rotate, they can mature, they can really take up the environment, are still anticipated, e.g. by merging. Despite extreme background shear, no change to the mentioned tornado gust risk in the severe weather, the last outlook, which was this one. So it's still saying a long track tornado is possible, and damaging wind gusts as well are 100% possible. Yesterday was also quite a significant event. Nothing really materialised though. Today was always going to be the bigger day, so I did hold off from a stream until today. We also had some lightning damage reports from yesterday. Also, just a lot of wind, heavy rain, flooding, large hail in there as well for Spain. It's been surprisingly active, the weather pattern for Spain. I was thinking of going live for the Spain, for the storm that's going in for Portugal and Spain. Storm Christian. I actually didn't go live. I think I had something on. But yeah, if I take that back, let's say. So yeah, loads and loads of severe wind reports. There's also a tornado report. Just loads of heavy rain, major wind gusts. That was a major event that took place. Also, there was a tornado down south of Bordeaux. We actually covered that last stream. We in part 2 of the USA winter storm coverage. We did go live for about an hour and a half. For about half an hour of that was the winter storm coverage, and then we did transition into a European thunderstorm risk. And I did show the video from this tornado. I don't know, it's hidden now, so I can't show you that footage. But yeah, this is looking like an interesting storm moving through. There's also these. They've been issued. I'm not really sure why. Still waiting for the latest data. This is more recent. So on this island, let's see what it's called. Port Joinville. We could be seeing some high wind gusts in this storm. We are sort of seeing this cell beginning to break away from this cell. And this one's going to become more independent, so that might introduce a bit more of a tornado risk than this one, because it's going separate. That might also lead to a bit more of a tornado risk, and then this one has always just not really succeeded in growing that much. Has actually gone purple, so there's probably quite maybe quite a lot of or maybe hail in there, sorry. Let's see this one. And if you guys haven't seen the latest Roaring Sond SBC automated convective outlook, we have got that slight risk which is going to be coming into effect later on today. So this is 9 o'clock in an hour and a half. We do see that large slight risk. This will be driven mostly by the wind outlook, but we also do have a 5% tornado outlook right just north of the Bordeaux region. We also do have a large hail outlook and a 70% thunderstorm outlook. And then this will push eastward, remaining sort of 2% tornado outlook for France. You can also get the automated aftereffects outlook. Right, it's actually showing a level 3 out of 3. The actual, a level 2 out of 2 for that region. These cells have really started to, this is definitely the main threat at the moment. These cells have really been able to take up the environment. We can see this one suddenly goes blue. That is going to be having hail in it. This one as well. This storms begin to split, so this is going to be able to go into much more of a supercell like formation. This cell behind it has hail in it. This is the main event right now, at least what I can see. We do have a large swath of heavy rain moving its way into Rowan. And I haven't mentioned this for a while, but we do have a significant windstorm with these supercells. So we are going to see these supercells and then a higher wind event. Places like Bordeaux could see 70 to 80 mile an hour wind gusts. This has downtrended just ever so slightly, not by much. This is still going to be a significant event. If you're in Bordeaux or on the very immediate coastline, some significant damage may occur. So yeah, just be ready for this. This is all overnight, so it's going to be starting to ramp up over the next sort of couple hours. If I pull this back to now, we are seeing already some high wind gust, but then it'll just get higher and higher as we go throughout the night time. These are the two cells that are looking most significant to me at the moment. This one could have a bit of rotation in it. That could have a bit of rotation in it. This is interesting. This starts to get a hook. That might be a contender. This one as well has just formed. Yeah, this right here is just formed. So that if that starts to ramp up, I mean, we've already seen this environment is very unstable. We've seen these storms absolutely exploding over the last couple minutes. So this right here might, oh, that one's actually calmed down a bit. This one here might start to get a bit more significant. We are just starting to see some of these cells begin to fire off. These ones are the most significant ones. At the moment, any of these down here though, they might look weak right now, but as they start going into the more favourable conditions, these might start to ramp up. We also do have a storm producing lightning, which is actually out of the radar coverage, which may well, we'll definitely be looking at that over the next sort of 20 minutes whenever it does come into shore. We also do have a pocket of some heavy rain and lightning, maybe hail moving into Saint Pierre d'Oléron, Saint Denis d'Oléron, Le Chateau d'Oléron, this sort of island right here. Some heavy rain. I'm going to be expecting some maybe flash floods out of this. This is just the line of or the cluster of thunderstorms. I would imagine that is been issued by the mesoscale discussion. It says a cluster of thunderstorms should move across the mesoscale east southeast, at least a few more robust updrafts. So this is going to be the big cluster of storms, maybe a QLCS tornado risk. Nothing that interesting in terms of tornadoes. Maybe some hail and damaging wind gusts out of this, but these sort of cells that are going to be developing are going to be the main tornado risk, also the main hail risk. This one may have hail in, and also are going to be the main tornado risk. You also do have some cells over here. This is looking a bit interesting. But once again, our main sort of focus is going to be these storms right here. Hail and potentially a tornado over the next 30 to 40 minutes are 100% possible. And we also do have this cluster of supercells, which the forecasters at Estofacts did actually forecast this cluster of thunderstorms moving eastwards. Also, maybe some heavier, maybe hail in this as well. Can't quite get radar coverage on this cell that's producing lightning at the moment. This one on the ooh, that might be producing quite. That is interesting. That's going to be producing large hail, I'd be thinking, right now, as well as wind gust. That has grown a little bit more. Some large, potentially very large hail. Maybe ping pong sized hail falling out there right now. That does look quite significant at the moment. We do have this cluster of thunderstorms. One of our webcams have really been worth checking over the last little bit. Once again, these cells are the most interesting for our tornado risk over the next little bit, but we will start to see some cells come behind it, like these ones down here. They might not look like anything, but as they get into a more favourable environment, these may begin to pick up intensity and then may produce a tornado in the longer run. These cells have just begun to fire as well. You can see 40 minutes ago there's nothing, and now there's some cells. That just kind of shows you what environment we're having today. Also, this thunderstorm has been here for the sort of hour, and it's only grown in intensity. So large to very large hail out of this at the moment on the France and Spain border. But yeah, once again, these are the main cells, maybe producing some heavier hail, maybe some faster wind gusts as they do go onto the French coastline. This is the most significant bit of hail that I can see at the moment, the most significant storm. As I've already mentioned, this may have produced a tornado earlier, as we have had some multiple hooks. We have had multiple hooks on this storm. They've looked interesting, and then we do have a large hail core at the moment. This area of heavy rain has started to calm down over the last little bit. It is still going to be posing a flash flood risk. You've probably already seen flooding in some of the regions that have been impacted by this over the last sort of 10-20 minutes. We have seen some very heavy rain as this cluster of thunderstorms does move its way in, and this was on the mesoscale discussion right here. A cluster of thunderstorms should move across the mesoscale discussion area to the east, and that is exactly what we're seeing. This area of cluster, and then some updrafts, some more isolated updrafts, which are going to be the main tornado risk this evening. So there guys, I'm gonna have to I'm just gonna go get some water or just a drink. Just give me a moment. Right then guys, sorry about that, I just had to get some drink. As I've been speaking for so long, my mouth has begun to dry out a bit. We do have these cells which are going to be producing some hail. This is going to be our main storm at the moment though, looking like it's going to be producing some large hail. Oh, I'll close down window. Some large to very large hail in this thunderstorm that is currently going across the French border at the moment. And also, if we do look at the satellite, we will be able to see just the formation of this windstorm. And if you guys didn't know, we are going to be looking at some major wind gusts are going to be impacting the Bordeaux region over the next couple of hours. This will go all throughout the night, maybe reaching 90-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So very fast wind, and then potentially around tomorrow, in the early afternoon, this may start to calm down. If I go to the warnings that we have out there at the moment, we do have some red warnings. The red warnings are for flooding. There is meant to be, there is expected to be major flooding in the reds and the oranges. Also a severe wind warning and also a moderate thunderstorm warning. In the orange, we just have orange flood warnings, rain flood warnings, and then wind warnings, and then thunderstorm warnings once again. And I will talk to you about the current SFX outlook. We do have a level 2 out of 3. A level 2 was issued for parts of west-southwest France, mainly for a severe to damaging gust and a tornado risk of a strong event not being ruled out. The main risk will start from 7 to 9 o'clock until 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning. And the other concern is a tornado risk with a damaging long track event not ruled out. Forecast radiographs offer very intense SR inflow into any mesocyclone with inflow peaks in excess of 30 meters per second. This activity should feature a biomedial severe threat despite some spotty hail with somewhat steepened lapse rates and lowered WBZ values. So the main risk is going to be high wind gusts and potentially a long track tornado, but we are also looking for some hail in there as well. If we look at the current roaring sonde SPC level automated convective outlook, we can see right around 9 o'clock, so in an hour's time, we're going to have a large slight risk, and this will be driven by, there we go, there is going to be a large wind outlook. This is going to be our most significant or our most significant threat. Also, is going to be a little 5% tornado outlook and also a 5% hail outlook. And if I scroll to the side, that is day one. There are 359.47 thousand people under the outlook. There is, would there be, I guess it says there's 70 million people under 2% tornado risk area. Is that true? Maybe? No, 70 million people do not live there. We do have this cluster of thunderstorms moving, but this is going to be our most significant storm at the moment. If we look more of the timing of this event, also I was mentioning the snow risk. I go over to France, not going to be a whole lot of snow. If we look at the overview, this is not what we want, is it? This is not. That does not look the same. Oh, this is it. Okay. So we do see these these major storms that are going to be moving their way through. So this is 6 o'clock, and as we move through into 9 o'clock, we will see these supercells that are moving eastwards, along with that cluster of storms moving eastwards. Some of these could bring long track tornadoes to portions of West France. We also do have quite a lot of Cape out there today, in all of the grey regions. We also do have some Berkshire out there, quite a significant amount for these storms to use up. Also starting to see some this storm develop behind the main cluster. We're also seeing maybe some things going off the storm at the moment. I haven't really seen that much rotation. Maybe this storm might have some rotation on it. This is probably one of the more concerning storms that we've had. That storm in front of these cells have not really well managed to ever materialise. These storms behind it, this one at the far back is looking like maybe producing some hail. This one might be producing some hail as well, but we do have this thunderstorm that's moved its way on. Some small hail, some fast wind gusts are definitely a possibility with this. Now with this cluster of storms, the main risk is going to be some damaging wind gusts and maybe some flooding. And we are starting to see some more cells that are going to be firing up. I mean, look at that over the last 4 minutes. Oops. These are very quickly been able to form, and that just shows the environment that we're in. Over the past 4 minutes, they've gone from looking like a little light rain shower to potentially producing some larger hail. That is quite an interesting thing. We're also just seeing loads and loads of just little cells that have been firing up. I mean, that this just shows how favourable today's environment is. We've got loads of cells that have just fired up. Where's the readout done? We also have this storm at the back here, which is that is not snow. Why is it show a snow? Perfect. Okay. This has begun to produce a lot more lightning over the last little bit. This may be something that's coming off the storm, maybe. Maybe need to a small tornado risk as this pushes its way in. Maybe a little couplet. Really, our most concerning risk right now is this one right here, which has begun, sorry, to form a little hook. This one as well, these sort of cells and supercells, these may bring some maybe a tornado risk if they do start to look have more of a hook shape to them. Right now with these cells they're looking like mostly a hail threat. Tornado risk may be developing over the next sort of 20 minutes. And guys, if you do like this coverage, it would really be appreciated if you could subscribe. I mean, we're not even in the peak season for storms. I have a feeling we're going to be going live a lot more regularly over this summer for events just like this. Windstorms all across the UK and Europe, thunderstorm threats, severe weather threats in America, snowstorms. We're going to be going live for major things, hurricanes, everything like that. And I did actually just want to say, we did have a storm that hit Madagascar as a Category 3 typhoon. Yeah, interesting stuff there. It developed really from nothing, and then it came a Category 3 there, and then wow, that's a very interesting. So the UK model shows it developing into a 1 and just sort of winding out, and then the European model shows it going down here, up round, back round, becoming a 2. That is a very interesting and bizarre very bizarre track. So it goes down. I don't even know. Tuesday. That is an interesting model. These cells have really started to form over the last half an hour or so. You haven't seen anything that's probably been significantly tornadic. We may have seen a tornado on that southern storm near the border. The storm looks to be dissipating, just a tad bit, losing a bit of energy. Looking a lot more messy. It is moving away from the more favourable zone. This is going to be the most favourable region today, really, for tornadic events. These storms, by the way, have just completely shot up over 20 minutes ago. We had nothing, and then these storms have just been able to fire maybe some hail and some damaging winds out these. That is maybe quite a lot of hail. That might be significant hail. Now that is probably the lightest blues that we've seen today. That's significant. Maybe some rotation on this. By the way, also maybe rotation up here. Maybe some couplets in this storm. Maybe something there. That might be something that we got to monitor. That's interesting, that. Right there. Wait, what? Wait, is that a water spout? Wait, what? 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 That is insane. What is that? That's surely just like a rain particle, but that got me. Oh my god, that got me thinking. Jeez. That is. That looks exactly like a water spout. Why is it so bright as well? Why is it so light, sorry? That is, really weird. Why is it there now? What? I feel like this is almost a trick, people. Why is it like that? I genuinely don't know. That is completely ridiculous. This is not really. Well, it was giving us an okay view. Could see some wind out there. And then we got this view. I still can't believe this. What? I'm telling you, that looks like a. Someone's pranked us with that. I'm telling you. That is. Every single time that a bloody thunderstorm hits, this is probably what they do. How? I don't know. That is really weird. Unless we did see a water spout in the exact same place. Um, that is really weird. This supercell is beginning to strengthen a little bit over the past 10 minutes. What's the temperatures out there at the moment? About 11 degrees. Not bad. It's a lot warmer where I am. So a lot colder where I am. This looks to be getting a bit more of a significant hail core. This storm is strengthening at the moment. This storm has been strengthening. Large hail, maybe a tornado out of this. Look how many cells we've got over here. Any of these have a small chance to produce a tornado. I mean, there's some down here that look interesting. There is so much. Any one of these could just suddenly produce a brief spin up. That could be a couplet in there. I'm not ruling out a tornado in that sort of region. Oh yeah, the scam. The scam webcam. So avoid that one. Don't look that bad. Is that somebody getting into their car? No, it isn't. I don't know what that is. Have a look at Cape on Windy. We do have some Cape out there at the moment. These storms could be using to their advantage, and it definitely looks like they have been. What the heck? Kind of scary. That's definitely producing some hail in Saint Helier de Riz, or de Riaz, sorry. I wonder if any French people are storm chasing. Probably not. Wouldn't like to chase in a overnight risk. Kind of annoying me, but at the start of the stream I said there's a risk of tornadoes overnight, and then there was a phrase that you give to a tornado that occurs during the night. Let me see. What do you call a tornado that happens at night? Nocturnal. That is exactly what we wanted. A nocturnal tornado threat. That is exactly what we wanted. Once again, large to very large hail going into this sort of region in West France. We just have so many cells out there at the moment. We really do. We really do. We do also have a significant flooding risk out of this event. Could pose the threat for some flash floods. We do have some red warnings in this sort of region. Let me actually get it up. For severe thunderstorms. Not severe thunderstorms. Heavy rainfall. I feel like the stuff that we're going to do in Europe is a bit patchy. It's maybe not the greatest coverage. I'm looking forward to the first live stream that we do of the weather event or weather severe thunderstorm outbreak in America. Just the tools that you can get are so much better. I can forecast better. I can give the information better. With something like this, it's very hard. You have to interpret the radar. Whereas in sort of America, you know, it tells you rather than you have to work it out yourself. But yeah, it's gonna be good whenever we start doing American weather coverage. We just haven't had a threat that's that interesting. We do have a storm that's coming up this Saturday into Valentine's, but once again, we might be live for UK weather as that major snow system moves its way through. I'll show you guys that on WX charts if you guys haven't seen it already. So right around Valentine's, we will see some heavy, moderate to heavy snow for the entirety of the country. Looking very interesting out there. On Sunday it could be a winter wonderland, and then we could have another snow event going into Wednesday that could leave most of North England looking pretty snowy. It's going to be an interesting stretch of weather for Europe. I mean, it already has been. We've already had so many storms. Oh, this could have a hook on it. This storm could be getting a little hook on it. Potentially. Oops. Potentially. I'm excited for severe weather season over in America. It's going to be good. Well, some of it might not be good, but it's going to be good to cover. May have a hook on the storm. Maybe have something in one of these. Another hook there. Any of these storms could begin rotating. They all have some sort of hook going to them. Large hail heading for the Bratigolas. That means Bratigonalas by the sea, I think. I think Surmer means by the sea. These storms have really taken a long time to make landfall. Once again, hail for this portion. You could also see a bit of a hook here, hook there. Most of these storms are looking like they've got at least a weak hook to them. You also do have some maybe cells that are trying to fire, or not fire, but trying to break off from this main system. Downpours over here. Why does it do that? Essentially a little hook coming from these storms. Another hook on this one, that might be interesting. Might be very interesting. That could start to materialise. Oh, it's been a long wait for severe weather season. Get started in about a month's time. Looking forward to it. It's kind of weird because I am my channel name's UK Weather Updates, but the live streaming I'm probably more passionate about. Or I feel as if I could carry out to a higher standard is actually American severe weather outbreaks. So maybe we need to change it to weather. So I don't know. For me, the UK is. I like to do. Maybe I should change it to European Severe Weather Centre or Weather Centre. The UK is quite. Obviously gets storms, but maybe not as regularly as sometimes other countries do. I do think that we do need to make a separate American channel as well. That's probably a good idea. Maybe call it US Weather Center, of like a collection of them. This is like an hour ago. Good. This is about an hour behind. This is just that way down. I don't know. We do now have a a moderate thunderstorm warning for this area from this storm right here, possibly producing some hail. Also, could be a tornado in there at some point. Now then, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm feeling quite tired. Um, it's getting a little bit late, but if you guys have liked the coverage, I would greatly appreciate you subscribing. It would mean quite a lot. I'd appreciate it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to severe weather season. You are as much as I. We're going to be doing US weather coverage, potentially around Valentine's Day, or maybe early on Sunday morning. We could maybe go live for that upcoming snow risk in the UK. If you are in West France at the moment, do take care. Of ways to, well, you can't really receive alerts, but keep alert. Anywhere near the sort of this region. Well, let me pull up the Mesosphere discussion area. There could be a tornado in there at some point. Um, if the risk was looking a lot more interesting over the next couple hours, I would continue to go live. It's just maybe in an hour, the risk is probably going to pick up, but I don't think I'm going to be able to go for another hour. Um, but yeah, forecast tomorrow for the upcoming snow event, and also in that we will be seeing all the aftermath. I might post a short about this as well. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the coverage. Um, yeah, obviously this is European weather. It was a bit patchy at times. Um, obviously this was the best radar that we could find. It's I quite like it. It's a good radar. But yeah, something like American severe weather outbreaks. Personally, myself, I feel like I could take out a little bit more professionally, have better applications. But I guess all I have to say now is thank you guys so much for watching today's severe weather coverage for the potential tornado risk. This is going to exist for a little bit longer. Okay, see you guys.